The stadium rises like a living organism under floodlights, breathing anticipation into the night air, as Belgium steps onto the pitch with quiet confidence that feels almost heavy with expectation. Every seat is filled, every gaze fixed on the center circle where destiny is about to be rewritten. Tunisia stands ready across from them, not as spectators, not as guests, but as challengers carrying pride and urgency in every movement. The whistle cuts through the noise. Like a blade, and the match begins. Belgium moves first with immediate intent. The ball is touched into motion with sharp purpose, and the rhythm of their play begins to unfold like a story already rehearsed, yet still dangerous in its spontaneity. The midfield connects with calm precision, and forward momentum builds with each pass that carries weight and direction. There is no hesitation, only progression. From the opening seconds, Tunisia feels the pressure compressing space and time. Every pass is contested, every turn met with resistance. Belgium is not waiting to settle. They are already pushing forward, searching for gaps that do not yet exist but will soon be forced open. The ball is driven wide, and the shape of the attack begins to stretch across the field. Movement becomes the language of control. One touch becomes two, and suddenly the defense is drawn into unfamiliar territory where decisions must be made in fractions of seconds. A surge arrives down the flank. The crowd reacts before the play fully develops, sensing the danger before it becomes visible. A cut inside follows, and for a brief moment the structure of Tunisia trembles under the weight of acceleration and intent. A shot follows. It is not perfect, but it is enough to announce the tone of what is to come. The goalkeeper reacts sharply and pushes it away. Relief lasts only seconds. Belgium retrieves the ball as if nothing has changed. The pressure resets instantly like a machine that refuses to slow down. The attack returns with even greater intensity. The midfield conductor steps forward again, dictating rhythm and direction with calm authority. He scans the field and delivers passes that split attention and reshape defensive lines. Every movement around him becomes synchronized with purpose. The ball finds its way into dangerous space once more. The defenders scramble to adjust, but Belgium is already transitioning into another phase. The tempo rises, and the game begins to feel less like a contest and more like a slow tightening of control. A breakthrough arrives without warning. A sharp pass into the final third opens the door, and the attack flows through it with devastating clarity. The finish is clean, decisive, and unstoppable. The stadium erupts. Belgium leads, and the weight of expectation transforms into momentum. Tunisia responds with urgency, but Belgium now smells control. The pressing becomes more aggressive, the positioning more compact, and the transitions more ruthless. Every attempt to build forward is met with immediate resistance. The ball is won again high up the field. There is no pause, only acceleration. A quick exchange, a sudden burst, and the defense is once again exposed. Another chance forms. The strike is powerful and precise. The net ripples again. The scoreline expands, and with it the sense of inevitability grows. Belgium is not just playing, they are dictating reality inside the match. Every movement is connected, every transition deliberate, every attack layered with purpose. Tunisia tries to breathe through possession, but the pressure never fully releases. Even when the ball is at their feet, they feel the presence of danger circling like a shadow that never leaves. The midfield battle becomes a story of dominance. Belgium wins second balls with consistency and authority. The spacing between lines is perfect, allowing them to recycle possession instantly and launch new waves of attack. A moment of brilliance arrives from deep midfield. A pass carved through space with vision that seems to slow the game for everyone except the attacker, who reads it instantly. The defensive line is broken again. The finish is calm and composed. Another goal. Another statement. The crowd noise swells into something almost continuous, now a wave that does not fully break, but instead sustains itself in rising intensity. Belgium stands with complete control of the match. Tunisia attempts to reorganize. They push higher, try to press the build-up, try to force mistakes. For a brief moment there is resistance. The ball is contested more fiercely in midfield and the rhythm stutters, but Belgium absorbs it without panic. The structure holds. The response is immediate and disciplined. A simple pass out of pressure becomes the beginning of another attack. The wings become active again. Speed enters the match in sudden bursts. One player accelerates past his marker, leaving space behind him that feels almost unfair. The defense shifts too late, a cross arrives. It travels with precision and intent. The finish is there waiting, and it is taken without hesitation. The scoreboard moves again. Belgium continues to build not with desperation, but with hunger that feels controlled and professional. Each goal does not slow them, it sharpens them. The understanding between players grows clearer with every sequence. Tunisia now fights for stability. Their lines drop deeper, their shape becomes more compact. The game turns into survival in open field under constant pressure. Yet even in defense, Belgium finds cracks. Small spaces appear and vanish instantly, but they are enough. Enough for another pass, enough for another run, enough for another moment of exposure. A new wave begins from midfield. The ball is carried forward with pace and purpose. The defender steps out but is bypassed with ease. The final line is approached again. The finish arrives quickly. The net shakes once more. At this stage, the match feels less like competition and more like demonstration. Belgium is expressing control through repetition of excellence. The patterns are familiar but unstoppable. Tunisia is forced to endure wave after wave without relief. The tempo does not drop. If anything, it increases in confidence. Players begin attempting more expressive movements. Flicks, touches, and combinations emerge naturally from instinct rather than instruction. The crowd responds to every touch that breaks lines or eliminates defenders. The energy becomes shared between pitch and stands, a single unified rhythm of anticipation and reaction. A moment of individual brilliance erupts on the flank. A player receives the ball under pressure, and instead of retreating, he accelerates forward. One defender is left behind, then another. Space opens like a corridor carved through resistance. The finish is inevitable. The ball is placed with precision, and the goal arrives as a culmination of movement rather than a single action. Belgium continues to expand control over every phase of the game. Even defensive transitions feel organized. When possession is lost, it is recovered almost immediately through collective pressure. Tunisia struggles to escape their own half. Every attempt to progress forward is met with interception or forced error. The psychological weight of the scoreline begins to influence decision-making. Still, there are moments of resistance. A rare break forward creates a glimpse of danger. The crowd reacts with tension as Tunisia enters attacking space for the first time in a while. A shot comes in. It is blocked. Belgium clears and resets without panic. The rhythm resumes. Another attack builds. The midfield dictates once again. The passing is smooth and decisive. The movement ahead of the ball is constant. The defenders are pulled apart by angles and timing rather than brute force. A final pass splits the line. The striker meets it with perfect timing. The shot is controlled and precise. Another goal follows. The scoreline now reflects complete dominance. As the match progresses into its final phase, Belgium shows no sign of easing. The energy remains focused. The substitutions bring fresh movement, but the structure stays intact. Tunisia continues to fight, but the effort is now more about pride than possibility. They chase shadows as Belgium circulates possession with patience and control. The final third becomes a stage for repeated attacks. Every sequence feels like a new opportunity for another moment of execution. The defense is stretched again and again until space becomes inevitable. A late surge breaks through once more. The ball arrives in the box under pressure and is finished with authority. The net moves again and the crowd reaches its highest point of celebration. The final minutes feel like a closing statement written in motion. Belgium controls possession with calm assurance. The passing slows but never loses direction. Every player understands the outcome yet continues with professionalism. Tunisia makes one last attempt to push forward. It is met with immediate resistance. The ball is recovered and held. Time stretches as the game moves toward conclusion. The whistle finally arrives, and with it the release of everything that has been building since the first touch. Belgium stands victorious with a scoreline that reflects not just goals but dominance across every layer of the match. Movement, control, precision, and finishing all aligned into a performance that leaves a lasting imprint. The players gather, acknowledging the crowd and each other as the stadium echoes with approval. Tunisia leaves the field with effort and pride intact despite the weight of the result. The night closes with Belgium written across it in clear, unmistakable force, a reminder of what happens when rhythm, confidence, and execution merge into one continuous flow of football that never truly allowed the opponent a moment to breathe.